Okay. So I'm Ashley Baumann, if you guys don't know me, and I've been a coach for over 5 years. And I recently really went all in with my business this year because I started off as a hobby coach first. And I will say before introducing my husband that when I started this business, when I signed up to be a coach, we were just dating. We weren't married. So it was my money and it was my decision to do this. But obviously I told him about it, and and whatnot. And so I just wanted to kind of give that background because I know everyone starts different. Some people sign up when they're married. Some people sign up when they're not. I think somebody's not muted. It's echoing.
It's okay.
Okay. So I just kind of wanted to give like the background of how I started as a coach, but then, obviously he's been with me throughout this whole 5-year journey. And, so Billy, he's
Hi, my name's, as Ashley said, my name's Billy. So I am excited to talk today a little bit about the spouse side, because I'm sure that might be one of the, if not number one, probably one of the top 3 toughest things about this job at first. And we're going to hopefully hit on a bunch of stuff. If you have any questions, just fire away. I don't know, where do you want to start?
Well, we can kind of talk about the beginning, I guess.
Okay.
And you can kind of give your perspective. So, like I said, we weren't married yet, but we were, together. And so I always kind of included Billy on, what it was about, what I was doing. But I mean, I feel like give your thoughts on like how you thought about it at first.
Yeah. So I think at first, just like everybody, even if you were becoming a coach, you're a little skeptical of everything that's out there. Cause I mean, how many MLMs are there out there, right? And which ones are the good ones? Which ones are the bad ones? And fortunately we did our research, and obviously we picked the right vehicle with Beachbody. So being a little skeptical at first, I think is normal. Because if you weren't skeptical in it, you're obviously not learning about it. So I took some notes here. So really the first thing I think that, from a spouse's perspective, that could be husband or wife, because there's some male coaches, but is that you got to know the backstory first about Beachbody. I think that your spouse needs to know what it is, because it's not just a health and fitness company. It's more like, from what I've seen over the years, I would say it's like a lifestyle brand. And really, I mean, hold on, I got a couple more things. And like, I would start introducing your spouse really to some of the products. Whether that's making a shake for him in the morning. I mean,
I make his shake.
She makes my shakes, and I do once in a while. And it's not because I'm lazy, but she really wants me to be all in with it. And I think that was a great way to get me into the business a little bit. More understanding, like, okay, so instead of eating something crappy for breakfast, now I'm incorporating a shake as my, first thing I drink in the morning.
And you feel the effect, like you actually like it, you enjoy it.
I agree. And do I drink it every day? Absolutely not. I'm some days, I would say she drinks it every day. I'm probably like 3 days a week. She's always mad at me in the morning when I leave for work to drink your shake. But
if I make it for you, you will. But
yeah. But honestly though, like I'm going to speak from a male perspective. We don't like what we really don't know, right? So I would say, like, just you got to give it time, but your spouse has to really, like, you got to introduce them into the product, because if they don't use it, how are they going to be able to support your business? It's not like they know what you're doing every day.
I think too, something that I really always have done with Billy is shown him videos from like Carl, the CEO, speaking. Like, I want him to see what the mission is behind it. I want him to see like that it's not just social media and us posting random things and working out. I want him to know that it's like literally we're trying to end the trend of obesity in the world. And for him to see that side of it really changed a lot. And I don't know, every spouse, significant other is different, but Billy has a very like business oriented mindset. So for him to see the business side of Beachbody was really important for him to really realize how real this was.
Especially, right. So to piggyback off of that real quick, the biggest thing for me was, okay, so I understand there's multiple kinds of coaches, whether you're a coach all in, I want to grow my team, grow my business, grow my brand, make this a career. And then also there's the discount coach side, which I totally get. You're ordering a bunch of stuff and you want to, get some money off of it every time, more or less get some free stuff out of it, I guess. I don't know the whole deal.
Yeah, you crunch the numbers.
But anyway, so the big thing for me was, okay, show me the comp structure. If you want to be all in as a coach, show me. I want to see the actual, where do you make money here? Is it real? And I will tell you it's absolutely real. Okay, I've seen the paychecks. I've seen what it could look like. And the real big thing for me was I just needed to see the hard numbers. And again, that goes back to the first thing is where your spouse needs to know the business. If they don't even know the basics of what Beachbody is, well then, they're not going to even be interested in seeing the comp structure. And that's really your goal, because, once they start seeing, okay, I can make an extra $2,000 a month, working 10 hours a week, I think that's just pretty good for them to take 10 minutes out of their day just to overlook the comp structure to see how you can grow this business from a hobby to a legit business. And for me, once I took the time to look at the comp structure, we've been all in, and that's been a few years ago.
Yeah, I was sharing with him stories of other coaches that I knew. So even if I didn't know them like exactly directly, like say it was my coach's coach, I would say like, this is what they were making before, this is what they're making now. Like, look at what they've been able to do. If someone paid off all their debt or something like that, I would show him that story. And then obviously when I really started going all in this year, I was showing him every week what I was making. And, not only like obviously celebrating together, that's what we kind of wanted to talk to is we have this approach now, especially since I decided to go all in, this is like a team effort. So we celebrate together. I tell him everything that's going on so that he is involved too. And I even bounce ideas off of him now. Now, obviously that didn't happen overnight, but I'm just saying like the more you tell them about everything that's going on, show them the messages that you're getting from your challengers or people that you follow on social media that are telling you, I've been able to, run around with my kids again. I've been able to lose 2 pant sizes because of you and your help and your programs. Like, show them what impact you're making, and they're going to be like, wow, this is so amazing that you're doing this. Like, they're going to be so proud of you, and they're going to realize that this isn't just you buying products and using it. You're actually helping other women. And I think too, something that Billy's kind of touched on already was women and men are so different, the way they view things, the way they think of things. So like, I hope I hope Billy can really give you guys insight on, like, they need to see the numbers. I also want you to share with them like what you're doing with other people and how you're impacting them. But again, you have to kind of show them what is possible with this business and the comp plan. You have to show them as you're, doing better and better and growing your team, how the money is increasing, so that they realize that, ever since I went diamond, my income has doubled. And, I've showed him that along the way.
Right.
And I've showed him too, all the recognition that we get. Like, look at how, especially because I'm in a corporate job right now that doesn't do any of that. And so I'm like, he realizes the difference. Like, look at how much more you get out of this company than a corporate job.
Mm-hmm. So I totally look forward to the day, hopefully soon, that she quits that corporate job and for Beachbody full time, because honestly, it would be awesome for everybody all across the board. I mean, there's zero downside in that, in my opinion. But to kind of go back to the comp plan real quick, every successful CEO, and you are a CEO of your own company, whether it's just you, trust me, you're a CEO of your company, and every great CEO has a great support staff. So every great company, every great CEO has that, whether it's their VP, their operations person, that right-hand man or woman that they could rely on for advice. And trust me, when Ashley says she shows me all the great messages and everything, a lot of it's also like, hey, Billy, I don't really know what to do here. Can you help me? Your significant other or spouse or whomever, we're going to ask them for help because we don't know everything. And here's the deal. There's a lot of stuff that I know from my job that can absolutely help Ashley out, and vice versa with my company. And even though my company's not Beachbody related, she could still bring a different perspective than certain times when than I can. And then the other thing is how Ashley hit on, sharing our goals. We absolutely share our vision with each other. I know her goals. I know she's going to be one of the top Beachbody coaches in the company because we talk about it all the time. And the thing is if you don't talk about them together, you're never going to hit your goals, or you might not get as high as you want. You might aim here, but since you're not sharing it with your significant other, you're not able to celebrate those little victories, right? You sign someone up, awesome. If they didn't really be proud of you, then what would motivate you to do it again? So I'm not trying to hammer your spouse if they're not feeling that way, but I like to tell Ashley, let's flip the script for a second. Let's say your husband came or your significant other came to you and said, hey, I want to start my own company. Okay. What would your first questions be to them? You'd be a little skeptical, right? Let's be honest. Well, you want to leave your job full time right now and start your own company? Well, how are you going to do that? What are your steps to get there? How are you going to navigate that? So you have to understand where they're coming from, because you want to go all in on this business, and sometimes you might feel that they don't support you, but you just have to understand, let's flip the script and see, what would you ask them if they said they wanted to go all in with their own business?
Yeah, and I think, honestly, that's actually what happened this year. Billy decided to start his own business this past spring, but we're both working at our full-time jobs still too. But so I kind of was skeptical. I was nervous. I was worried. I was like, oh my gosh, are you sure? I was doing the same thing that he was doing to me before. So we both do it to each other. And I hope that, any spouses that or significant others that watch this realize, put yourself in their shoes. Wouldn't you want them to support you?
Right. But then also make sure when you tell them your goals and your vision, but then you have to follow through on it. That's the cool part.
Yeah.
And because then they hold you accountable. And now you're running it like a business. This isn't a hobby at that point, right? Even if it's 5 hours a week, it's still a business for that 5 hours. Tell them you want to sign up 2 coaches within 1 week. If it's Sunday, you don't sign up 2 coaches. Hopefully they hold you responsible and accountable. Why didn't you?
That was something that really helped me was, Billy started getting involved and asking me every week and every month, what's your goal? What do you want to do this month? And it was like, oh crap, I really do have to follow through. Because he was like, I'll support you, but you have to do the work that you're going to do. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. And it's true. It's true. If I were to be working every night instead of hanging out with him, instead of spending time together, working every night, but I really was just scrolling the feed, nothing's going to show of it. And then I'm wasting our time, both of our times.
And time, that's the one thing though, you have to realize it's going to take time to grow. You will not.
Who you're talking about? This
the company, the process, the whole process. It's going to take time to grow. Whether that's 3 months or 3 years, it's really what you put into it. And you don't have to be making $10,000 a month to be super successful. Your goal could be, hey,
paying the car payment and insurance every month.
Done. Cool.
That's still a win.
So you realize I have to put in 5 hours a month to get that free car payment, 5 hours a week to get that car payment. Everything's going to take time, but you have to figure out what your goals are first and reverse engineer how you're going to get there with your spouse. Definitely include your spouse in your goals.
Yeah, I made a vision board and I showed him. And even if, at first you're getting resistance, at least you're trying. You're at least showing them. They can't deny what you're showing, what you're saying, what you're doing. They can't deny it. I think as far as to touch on time, that's something that we had to figure out. Before this year, I was all over the place. I was on my phone all the time, working all the time, but random times. So it was not organized. It was very disorganized. It was, off the fly or whatever that saying is, or on the fly. And that's what I needed to figure out, not only for the organization of my business, but also for his, to be fair to him. It was like, okay, we're going to have date night every weekend. We're going to spend a lot of time together on the weekends. But during the week at night, when I get home from my job, I'll make dinner. We'll have dinner together. But other than that, I'm working. So he understands that now that we've figured it out. But I have to make sure that I'm working those, 3-4 hours every night. And I think, he gets to watch football while I'm working. So it's a win for him too. You know what I mean? It's not like, also I feel like maybe it's just because we've been together for so long. It's like, I don't need to be with you every waking moment of the day and night. We can have our alone time or separate time. But you have to be working if you're going to be doing that. And then when you are out of that office or whatever, you got to get off your phone. Now, I still check my phone a lot. That's, maybe a bad habit of mine, but I try not to. If we're at dinner, if we're doing other things, like I'm not answering people's messages. I'm not checking in with my challenge group unless he's in the bathroom or something.
Well, that's where you have to designate. That's where we designate working hours, I would say.
Yeah.
It's something that, you have a designated time where you're just working, whether you're full-time, that's 9 to 5, or it's, after I get home from work, once I get home 7 to 9, and that's until you hit a certain goal, and maybe that changes. But really, the one thing that is, whatever your goal is, if your passion is to be a full-time coach or, just to help people with their day-to-day fitness in their lives, make an impact, right? Our thing is we just want to hit on, why wouldn't your spouse or significant other want to support you with that? Because you're supporting them in their daily goals. And just because this isn't your typical corporate America, sitting behind a desk job, doesn't mean you can't pursue this as a career. And really, if the roles were reversed, how would the other feel, right? So
yeah, and I think too, like something that's, obviously, like I said at the beginning, if you didn't hear, I've been a coach for 5 years, but I just started off as doing it for a hobby and, just like a discount. But I think I was looking back before this call today, like thinking back to 5 years ago to now, and our relationship is so much better. And my relationship with myself is so much better. Like we are so much healthier inside and out and in our relationship than we used to be. And that is like so much because of Beachbody. And I don't know if you want to like kind of touch on like how you've seen me change. And
I would say like the journey all throughout really is when you fully committed to doing it full time, and we went to an event together. Obviously, totally recommend.
I did take him to a Super Saturday event. I think it was 2 years ago. I did take him to that because, and so that's something too. Like obviously, he could have said no. He, could have not gone at all, but I just kept asking him. I think I asked him like three times at 3 different events. And finally he went because I wanted to hear from the other coaches. I wanted to hear and see that this is a community and this isn't just on a computer and this is real. And, he didn't do the workout. He, was kind of cranky, but he saw everything and he listened. And I feel like that changed a lot. Like, I feel like that was like a turning point as far as his belief in everything was there. And like, he didn't question me again on it. So I would encourage that. I know I've never been to the Success Club trips, but I know those are like so fun. So that's definitely something that make that a goal to earn that, to go to that and take him there. And that's what I'm really excited for in the future is for him to meet the other husbands. Because I know that's a huge deal for a lot of coaches. So like the husbands meet each other and they're like, oh, you had the same reservations I did, but like, look at how amazing this is. And I think for us, like moving forward, I want to be able to stay at home with our kids. And I know Billy wants that too, but to also have a career, why would he not want that? Like,
yeah, I see zero downside in a second income. There is zero downside in a second, maybe a third income too. If you have a corporate job, your husband has a job, maybe it's not even a corporate job, but if you have an additional income coming in, there is zero downside to that. So, right. And then the other thing though is that you probably, spouse might say, oh, you're wasting money every month, right? I'm sure some of you have heard that, oh, you don't want to spend. Okay, well, let's just be honest, guys, we blow our money too sometimes on stupid shit. So like fantasy football, right? Okay, as your husband and or boyfriend in a fantasy football league, that's more than $30 a month to be a Beachbody coach?
$15.99.
So don't
so
even,
half of that.
Zero reason to, if that's ever an excuse, and it shouldn't be. Because realistically, you're getting your money back because it's not even to be a part of the product. You're not just paying to be a Beachbody coach. You're paying, you're getting a lot more out of it because you're being a part of a community. You're getting access to phenomenal programs, meeting people, the relationships. And honestly, if you could make, as I just said, $100 a week or $100 a month, I think
and then double and triple and
pays for your $15 a month or whatever that cost is to be a Beachbody coach. Again, zero downside. I just really think it all comes back to them going, like literally the first thing I said was knowing the business. They just have to, just how they know their business, they need to know your business about it.
Mm-hmm.
And once they study it and learn it and Google, hey, tell them, go YouTube top Beachbody coaches, type in,
Yeah,
like I did.
He started looking at their website.
Every single, of course I'm looking at their websites because we want to grow. We're in the process of growing Ashley's business. There's zero reason not to model her business, your business, off of the most successful coaches making $1 million plus a year. Why not? Why not shoot for the stars? They have a cool website. I want my website looking just like that, right?
Well, and I would say too, like, I think one of the reasons why our team is growing and my business is successful as it is right now is because I have his support. So I would challenge any significant other to just give, even 50% support for like the next 3 months. Just let them work on their business. Tell them that you care. Like, tell them that you're, okay, I'm going to support you, but you got to do the work. Like, you got to follow through on what you're telling me. Give it 3 months and see what happens. Like, you will be shocked at like how much more that your significant other, who's the coach, will be able to get done because they won't feel guilty about working.
And the one thing that I think some people have to overcome is just because you're working with internet marketing, some people might not think that's a real job, and it's absolutely a real job. Okay, if it makes money, it's a real job.
It's way better than my corporate job.
So
way better. Because like I work in email marketing, and I literally am dealing with email blasts every day that don't make a difference in anybody's lives and are selling stuff that nobody cares about. And for me, it's like Beachbody, I'm literally changing people's health and wellness, their financial future. Like, this is so much bigger of an impact in the world today than, a lot of corporate jobs, not any corporate job, but most corporate jobs. So I think too, like when I was at Summit this year, I was sharing with Billy like everything that was going on. I was sending him pictures. I was sharing with him quotes from the speakers. I mean, Beachbody gets world-class speakers to our events that like everybody knows or has heard of that doesn't even have to do with Beachbody or fitness. So sharing that with them too, being like, oh, wow, like that would be a conference that would be at their company's event. I mean, that there would be someone that would be at their company's conference, So I always share that too. But I know what I've been hearing a lot from people is that like especially people with kids, so we don't have kids yet, but I feel for the coaches that have kids where nobody, like the significant other will not even like give them like an hour, where they won't like watch the kids for an hour so that they can work. Just give them that hour and see what they can do, see what they can accomplish. And you will be so surprised when they can pay, your mortgage for the month. Why wouldn't you want that? Like, that would be so awesome for you and your family.
Or at least give somebody else another reason, another why for their day-to-day, right? So even if it's an hour and they just want, and again, we're not parents, so maybe I'm not trying to speak out of line, but right. The point is that, in my opinion, that if you are a mother or father and you want to dedicate an hour to Beachbody, and that just gives me another reason to look forward to something, to improve my day-to-day, my why, I want to get better. Maybe that's personal growth, and I just feel like I'm an introvert and I want to start getting better at talking to people. So I'm going to message 50 people tonight, and I'm going to do that every day, and I'm going to grow my network. And now in 2 months from now, I'm not as scared to do that. Well, now when I want to take the full time to step up my business, I'm ready and I'm prepared.
Well, I think too, like we've said, we look at it as a team now. Like, it's not just my team, it's his team too. So even though Billy is a coach on our team, but he doesn't work the business. Like, he doesn't recruit, he doesn't post on social media or anything like that. But he is, like the vice president, I guess, if you want to look at it that way, like, right. Or co-CEO, I guess, sorry. Yeah. But I mean, like, he is supporting me, and like, of course he would want me to do well because it means more income for our family and our team. So I think like he's taken that approach of like, well, if I help Ashley with her business, even if it's just supporting her and letting her work when she wants to work, then we both benefit. We both win. The team wins.
Right.
Think of it that way. Don't think of it as like, this is her thing and it has nothing to do with me, because that's not true. And I mean, that's the same with anything that Billy does. It's like, this is for us. This isn't just for him. This isn't just something that he does that I'm not a part of, You got to think of it as like you're together. And again, making sure that you as the coach are sharing with him what's going on, what's happening. And I think too, like something that, you know, we're not going to really touch on because that's a case-by-case basis as a personal thing. But I mean, if you are feeling a little bit of jealousy, or if you're feeling a little bit of stuff like that, I mean, that might be something else that's going on, and that might be something you got to work out with, you know, some like a professional or something like that. So that's not, you know, something that we can really help with, but you know, there's always other things under the surface sometimes.
Right, and that's something that I see, because I've had friends ask me before, and I'm going to be honest, you know, I've had my friends ask me before, wow, your wife, fiance, girlfriend posts all the time. Aren't you okay with, are you okay with that? And they're asking me like I'm supposed to say, no, I'm not okay with that. Oh, doggy.
Oh,
but seriously though, they'll ask me like, are you okay with that? And hell yeah, I'm okay with that. Because I know it's part of the business. Like people don't understand things they don't know, right? So you know what? If Ashley's posting too much, good. Let's post more, because then more people are going to see it. That's how we look at it. And you know what? If again, there's always skeptics out there, and everyone's a skeptic until they know. And there's certain people that are the right people to be on your team. And listen, there's a lot of noise and bullshit out there. Just like wipe it out. Like who cares what your friend says? Oh, you're posting too much, or he might be thinking, well, I'm a little worried. I don't like these photos that these progress photos that you do. Well, I'll hit on it. I don't care. That like, oh, I don't like these progress photos that you're posting up, but realizing that's part of the business, and it's not in a bad nature. It's just you're showing what this program can do. Going back to the beginning, it's what is Beachbody? What is the business? The business is to show how it can empower yourself, grow as an individual, gain leadership skills, and if we make a couple dollars doing it, awesome. If not, well, we're still making an impact and growing your personal brand to whatever that you decide to have it be. But realistically, if one of the significant others' comments is, well, I don't like the fact that you're putting this out there all the time, or because I hear it, trust me, I hear it all the time because Ashley posts a lot, and it's literally cool. I think she should post more.
Yeah, well, and
we go from there.
I think too, it's like, you know, I make sure that he knows that, like, I don't have men on my page, like.
But that's not the case, though.
I'm just saying, like, no, but I think you need to like be upfront with them right away that they don't have to worry about that. Like, well, I block people.
But that's deeper than like who your target. Like, who's your target market? Your target market's probably not a 26-year-old male in New York City.
This is all about us connecting with other women. So it has nothing to do with men. Like, it's all about connecting with those women, and, you know, you can easily block
people. You get a guy on your team, awesome. That's cool.
You can easily block. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's cool too. But, you know, you got to make sure that they know that. And, like, honestly, I don't post provocative photos anyways. I mean, maybe people could take things the wrong way, but I'm just being me. And it's like stuff I would have posted years ago too that just didn't have to do with fitness. You know, me in a bathing suit on a vacation, I posted that all the time.
And the one thing you got to realize is that your spouse, it'll take time for them to come around. But again, you got to show them the comp plan. But then from other people, everyone's going to have an opinion about it at first until they really start seeing that it's making an impact in your life. And that goes back to sharing your vision. If you're serious about it, show your significant other, then all of that other stuff shouldn't matter.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, if you're a spouse or a significant other watching this right now, watching the recording, like, just give them a few months. Just give them a few months of your support, of you letting them show you what they can do and how they can impact people and how they can make an income that can help you pay bills, have a better life, go on vacations. Like, just give them a few months. And
if Beachbody can pay for us to go to like Bahamas or something, I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, if it can help with, my student loans, or just, I mean, it's going to help me leave my corporate job and, again, be able to stay at home with our future children. So, like,
that's a win right there. I mean,
that's, like, amazing. So, I just hope that, we found it helpful hearing from Billy, hearing from myself. We only have about, like, 8 minutes because I only have, like, the version that shuts down. So, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask us?
I wanted to say thank you, Billy, for doing this, because ever since I started like doing this, my boyfriend is like very not supportive, and he's still not supportive. And like hearing from obviously someone that I've like met kind of in person and like I can relate with, the pyramid schemes thing. That's what he keeps
Right.
doing.
Yeah, I'll hit on that.
It's like the whole like combination of me like posting and then his friends seeing it and then his friends saying that I'm in a pyramid scheme and it's not true and like
right.
Something else to combat that with.
Yeah, easy. That's the easiest one to overcome. I would say the biggest pyramid scheme is corporate America. Okay, look at one CEO, vice president, operations manager, plant manager, worker. Okay, so you know what? If this is a pyramid scheme, then it's the best damn pyramid scheme ever, but it's not the case.
Those are illegal.
You know, well, the thing is plus, like, I know Ashley, the person that's her coach, Ashley's making, like, way more money than, and nothing against her, but she's just not doing it as active. That's cool. Well,
her thing died.
It's okay. In a pyramid scheme, you won't be making more than the person above you. It's just not possible. It's just not possible.
I could never.
So it's not a pyramid scheme.
Right.
And I totally understand why they would get that from, because a lot of people ask that question right away. People
will say negative things about things they do not understand and they do not know. And that's the thing, like you get this a lot more right now because you're newer. I got it the same thing. Everybody was talking about me 5 years ago. If it was a pyramid scheme, would I still be here 5 years later? And would he be supporting me? No. Again, it's illegal anyway, so they're not allowed. But also, where I work corporate job-wise, like I will never be the CEO there. I will never be able to live the life I want there because the income and the growth is so low. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that. And I think Billy had a really good point too. Like I'll send you guys a graphic. There's a graphic that literally shows that corporate America is a pyramid. So that's funny. But yeah, no, I know that's like the biggest concern and misconception of Beachbody for sure.
But it's understandable because there's a lot of other programs out there that
aren't as reputable and they give us a bad name. But we're not the same as them. And unfortunately, we're lumped in with them.
But just keep doing what you're doing. And then obviously it'll prove long-term, and show him this video. And if he wants to talk, tell him, shoot me a message. I'll be more than happy to talk to anybody. Seriously.
Billy would be more than happy to talk to anyone, any spouse. So
like answer any questions. Cause I've literally we've been together for like 8-9 years. And
9 years today, I think.
Really?
Or the 5th.
But then but seriously though, I mean, for 5 years we've been together since she started doing Beachbody. So I know, I get it.
He's seen it all.
Get it all. And if it was a scam, I wouldn't be here. We would not be doing this.
I would not be doing anything that was a scam. 100%. No. Any other questions? We have about 5 minutes.
I got one.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, my husband is very supportive. He's telling me to go for it all the time. So,
oh, yeah.
But good. He's sitting over here, but he didn't want to be on camera.
It's fine.
He had a question the other day about taxes and that type of stuff. So, do you get a W-2 from Beachbody and all that stuff?
You get an I-9.
Okay, you get.
What is that called?
You'll get you're an independent contractor. So obviously we are not tax people. So this is.
We're not very good with the taxes, but he has a guy.
This is not tax advice, but yeah, you're going to be like a 1099. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
And more or less just, from your spouse's perspective, okay, from the business perspective, keep track of all the stuff you do for your business. So then when you at the end of the year, if you make $30,000 a year and you got like $3,000 worth of expenses, well, we can knock that income down to $27,000 and you get taxed off that. Hell yeah. But I mean, there's so many ways to like structure. You could structure. I mean, that's a whole nother video.
Yeah, we're still figuring out.
But like, you could structure your business in a real legit way, whether you want to LLC it and all that jazz. But we're not doing it necessarily. But
that's when you get hot. When you're making like
Well, you could do it at any. You don't have to do it at 6 figures. That's not true. You can do it at any point. But right now it's not something we've looked at. But it's really simple come tax time. Just keep track of all your jazz, and then
all your receipts, your anything that you like give to your challengers or your coaches, like you can write those off.
Yeah, if you do Facebook marketing ads and stuff, Instagram ads, anything like that. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Your husband's supportive.
Yeah, love it.
He is. He's supportive. Yeah. I don't know that he wants to be a coach yet, but
it's okay.
Well, just sign him up. Then you're married, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, so just sign him up. You can ask him. You can just sign him up and just sign him up, and then he doesn't need to be active. Sign
I
up.
mean, basically, he knew that, like, if he signed up, it would help me go, get to Emerald, get beyond,
Right.
help us with volume, more team building.
So he wouldn't have to do Shakeology or anything.
No. I mean,
$295 a fee.
No.
Yeah, no. Like sometimes I'll buy, like I buy our beach bars through his account, so that he is active. He stays
That's
active.
good.
I would have bought them anyways because he loves beach bars as well. That's one thing he's hooked on. So we buy the three boxes every month, and it's just on his account.
Okay.
So
that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, because I'm almost to diamond, so yeah, that might help.
Get him signed up tonight.
Yeah. What is he waiting on?
Not that close.
Right after this call.
Yeah. Does anyone else have any other questions or anything else? We have about 2 minutes.
Cool.
Was it helpful?
Yes.
Good.
I don't know if you can tell we're talkers, so hopefully we covered everything. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions, like for myself or for Billy, like reach out to me, and he's more than willing to talk to whoever.
Cool.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a great night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks.